if they shall bethink themselves.
God says, if you bethink yourself. I got a question for y'all. What does it mean to bethink yourself? Bethink yourself means to remember who you are. You understand what I'm saying? God is sending his prophets out here to let y'all know, hey, y'all ain't just no random black people. Y'all ain't just random Latinos.
That's right.
Y'all are the 12 tribes of the children of Israel who descend from God's chosen lineage.
Right.
That's who you are. So that's why we gotta come out here and we gotta wake y'all up, because a lot of our people sleep. They don't know who they are. You ask our people who they are today, they gonna tell you black African American. Well, you can't find black African American in the Bible. You can't find black in the Bible as a nation of people. You understand what I'm saying? So God is telling us to bethink ourselves. Remember who you are, Israelites. Read.
Yet, if they shall bethink themselves in the land whither they were carried captives.
We in the land of America right now. He says you need to remember who you are in the land that you are in right now. Read.
And repent and make supplication unto thee.
So we gotta repent, because for a long time we've been living in sin. That's why our communities are tore down and broke. That's why we got a church on every corner and ain't no solutions coming to the community.
IUIC, see we in the streets with it. Beasts with it, with the kings and the priests with it. My people sleeping, got them dreaming in the sheets with it. So
The book Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
So the whole matter of why this Bible was created and why it was made was for you. This is the conclusion of the whole matter. He's about to say it. Read.
Fear God and keep his commandments.
We are to fear God. I got a question for both of y'all. Why should we fear God? Give me that. Hold that and give me the source.
He holds the keys over life and death.
He holds the keys of life and death. What you say, my brother?
Like what he just said.
Exactly.
He don't own everything.
Exactly. So, if God tell us to do something, should we be straying away from it, or should we be doing what he tell us to do? Because what? He can take your life, or he can give you life, right? So you know what I'm saying? Exactly what you said. You on point. And I'm gonna read that out of the Bible just to show you that it's biblical what you're saying, and I'm gonna give you the proof.
Psalms chapter 119 and verse 120. My flesh trembleth for fear of thee.
So this is one of our forefathers, King David, one of the mightiest men to ever walk this earth. You got to understand, this is not a fictitious or just a storytelling book. This is our history. Right. So the people that we read about in this Bible, these are our forefathers. Right. The people that you see on these slave ships, these are our people. So you can't say that the people that went into slavery are not a part of you, because we come from them. You understand what I'm saying? So understand, when we reading this, the historical facts that they have in this Bible about King David and all the kings that ruled on this earth, these are your ancestors. You understand what I'm saying, bro? So we should hold that with a high standard. So King David is telling us something here. He's telling us how he feared the Lord. Read that again.
My flesh trembleth for fear of thee, and I am afraid of thy judgments.
King David said he was afraid of God's judgment. You know what I'm saying? He was afraid of God's judgment because why? Just like you said earlier, God has the power to either take your life or he can give it. You understand what I'm saying? So we gotta be fearful of going against what God tell us to do. Right. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the fear. That's the answer to what the fear is in the proof to prove it. Now go back to Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments.
So, hey, my brother on the bike, we going over the fear of God and the conclusion of the whole matter while we was put on this earth. I just got through reading our purpose of why we was put on this earth as black men. A lot of our people, we don't know who we are, and we don't know where we come from, and we don't know where we going. You understand what I'm saying? And the reason why we don't know these things is because we sin against our God. Give me 1 Kings chapter 8 and verse 46. This is what we gonna do, because in the Christian church, they are not gonna teach you the right way that you need to serve your God. You understand what I'm saying? They make you believe that your God is for everybody, but your God is only for you. Right. And it says it multiple times throughout this Bible. God is not the God of everybody. God is only the God of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
That's right.
Read that.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 8, verse 46. If they sin against thee, for there is no man that sinneth not.
He said, if they sin against thee, this is King Solomon, one of the wisest kings to ever walk this earth. He's telling us some instructions. He says, he says, if they sin against thee, who? Who's the they in this verse? Who do y'all think the they is?
The other nations.
The other nations? What you say?
You know what I'm saying? Another nation.
What you say? I'm gonna let y'all know right now. The they in that verse is talking about y'all.
Right.
That's who it's talking about.
That's right.
He said, if you sin against your God, these things are going to happen to you. This ain't talking about the other nations. The Christian church, they teach that the Bible is for the other nations when it's only for us. And if we come out and we tell the truth about it, we get ridiculed for it. Why should I have to go through a hate campaign because I'm telling the truth? God made me the way he made me. He made me in his image. So why should I feel bad if he chose me and he didn't choose you? Oh well. Oh well. Read on.
And thou be angry with them.
So if we sin against God and he's angry with us, he's giving us instructions on what to do. What?
And deliver them to the enemy.
And he says, and if God delivers us to the enemy, that happened to us when we went into slavery. That's what the Bible is talking about. We sinned against God. He was angry with us. So he gave us a punishment. Read.
So that they carried them away captives unto the land of the enemy, far or near.
That lets you know it's talking about these slave ships when they docked on the west coast of Africa, because that's what we were. That's what it's talking about. We were led into captivity to these different countries that we're in now.
Right.
That's why a lot of our people, you go all over the world and you know where to find our people in one spot. A lot of our people are in the hood. Everywhere you go, it's the same thing. We ain't dealing with a different people. We dealing with the same people that God was dealing with in his Bible. Read.
Yet, if they shall bethink themselves.
God says, if you bethink yourself. I got a question for y'all. What does it mean to bethink yourself? Bethink yourself means to remember who you are. You understand what I'm saying? God is sending his prophets out here to let y'all know, hey, y'all ain't just no random black people. Y'all ain't just random Latinos.
That's right.
Y'all are the 12 tribes of the children of Israel who descend from God's chosen lineage.
Right.
That's who you are. So that's why we gotta come out here and we gotta wake y'all up, because a lot of our people sleep. They don't know who they are.
Right.
You ask our people who they are today, they gonna tell you black African American.
Right.
Well, you can't find black African American in the Bible.
That's right.
You can't find black in the Bible as a nation of people. You understand what I'm saying? So God is telling us to bethink ourselves. Remember who you are, Israelites. Read.
Yet, if they shall bethink themselves in the land whither they were carried captives.
We in the land of America right now. He says you need to remember who you are in the land that you are in right now. Read.
And repent and make supplication unto thee.
So we got to repent, because for a long time we've been living in sin. That's why our communities are tore down and broke. That's why we got a church on every corner and ain't no solutions coming to the community. The church is supposed to be a pillar of the society that we live in. You understand what I'm saying? But we can't live a right society because the churches ain't doing right.
Right.
The pastors are only in it for the money.
Break them up.
But they're not giving the solutions to the problems. What you gonna do when you got a brother who wants to hop from woman to woman and he don't want to deal with his wife right? What you gonna do when a sister is pregnant and she got a child and she don't know what to do because the man don't want to take care of the child? These are the things that the pastors are supposed to be answering with the scriptures. That's why our communities look the way they look. That's the reason why we got young men right now ready to gun another brother down that look just like them. Because why? They don't have no guidance. Those things stem from small things that we're supposed to be keeping in the law. We're supposed to be keeping honor in marriage. You feel what I'm saying? Because with marriage, there would be no single parent households. That's repentance. That's how you change the community. That's how you turn a 360 and show these other nations, yeah, we've been through it all, but we still can build though. We still can build an empire here. You understand what I'm saying? Read.
And make supplication unto thee.
So we supposed to make supplication unto God. Talk to God. Read.
In the land of them that carried them captives, saying, we have sinned and have done perversely. We have committed wickedness.
So we got to confess and acknowledge that we are in sin.
Right.
I got a question for y'all. In the Christian church, have they ever told y'all what sin is according to the Bible? The disobedience of God. What you say, bro? Cause I want to dialogue with y'all. I want to make sure y'all staying with me. I don't want to just be up here talking and you know what I'm saying, I'm not getting no feedback. I want you to really understand what I'm saying. So my question to y'all is, in the Christian church, have they ever told y'all what sin was according to the Bible? What about you, young brother? Do you know what sin is, young brother? What sin is? When you commit a crime? Don't go nowhere, bro. This is the most important point. You can't go nowhere and you don't know this. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Because this is the main thing of why we are in the solution. The reason why we in the predicaments that we in right now. Read what sin is according to the Bible.
The book of 1 John, chapter 3 and verse 4.
Bring it out.
Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law.
So sin is when you go against the commandments and laws and statutes that God has given us as a people to keep. Do y'all know any laws and statutes that we're supposed to be keeping today? What about the holidays that we celebrate? What we celebrate as a people? Come on, I know y'all know something. What we celebrate today?
We celebrate Easter.
We celebrate Easter, which is coming up around the corner. What else y'all got? Huh?
I don't celebrate no holidays.
You don't celebrate no holidays? What about your birthday? Not even your birthday?
Another day for me.
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Thanksgiving and Christmas. So just like the brother was talking about Easter. Easter is a prime example of one of the things that has spoiled our people today. A lot of our people, if we finna go out here, we finna go in full-fledged idolatry. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Go to Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8 first. And I want to get this. Go to Colossians. You got it. I'll read it.
The book of Colossians, chapter 2 and verse 8.
Bring it up.
Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
When you spoil somebody, you make them rotten. So God is telling us to beware lest any man spoil you through philosophies. The philosophy that we've been taught in this earth is that what? Christ rose on the third day, which is Sunday, right? You understand what I'm saying? That's the thing that we was taught. We was taught that Easter is to represent Christ, right? And his resurrection. But according to the Bible, it actually says something different. And a lot of our people don't know that. We're gonna be up in the church on the first Sunday hollering about keeping Easter in the honor of Christ. Read.
Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
He say vain deceit. Deceit, trickery, cunningness. Right. You understand what I'm saying? We are being deceived by these things. Right. Bunny rabbits don't lay eggs. Right. So where are they getting these things from? You understand what I'm saying? We got to start paying attention to the things that's in between the thin lines. That's right. You understand what I'm saying? Stop going off of things that we just see because it was brought down as a tradition. Because that's why we do it. What you say?
It is in the Bible, but it's been mixed with Roman paganism.
And that's exactly what it is, because you know why it was mentioned in the Bible, because our ancestors, they were doing the same exact things during their time. Right. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna prove that. Keep reading. I'm gonna prove that to you later. Watch this. Read.
In vain deceit, after the tradition of men.
You hear that, young man? After the tradition of men. The things that we taught by our parents, right? They was taught by their parents, right? You can only go back so far, right, until you get to this. Right. You understand what I'm saying? And now you have the root of the problem, where we learned all these so-called holidays, which are actually holidays. You understand what I'm saying? These things are not to be followed. These are the traditions that we keeping because our parents was taught these things and they passing it down to us. Read.
After the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ.
He says not after Christ. The rudiments of the world, not after Christ. These things don't have nothing to do with Christ. You understand what I'm saying? Go to Acts chapter 8, and I believe it's verse 10. Acts chapter 8 and verse 10. 38. Is it 31? Acts chapter 8 and verse 31. Yeah.
The book of Acts, chapter 8 and verse 31. And he said, how can I, except some man should guide me? And he desired that Philip, and he desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him.
So this is showing us what? We gotta start desiring to learn and seek from the people who are actually doing what they say they're supposed to be doing. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody out here can just all of a sudden, out of osmosis, learn and understand the Bible. Right. We got to be taught by somebody. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna teach you about Easter today. Go to how you doing, sis?
She said, this is God.
That's God, and that's Jesus.
That's what she said.
Okay. So this is God and that's Jesus, right? That's what you say, huh, sis? Okay. So we're gonna deal with that, and then we're gonna get back on the topic of what a lot of our people are gonna be celebrating these upcoming Sunday. Read that.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Bring it up.
The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him.
So this is the revelation. Look, sis, this is the revelation of Jesus Christ, meaning this is the revealing of Jesus Christ in the Bible. A lot of our people will say, we don't know what Christ looked like. I never seen him. The Bible don't say what he looked like, but we reading here is saying this is the revealing of him. So that's letting you know that the churches is telling us lies. They've been telling us lies for a long time. We go into church and we see these images all the time, but we don't never see them read the description of what Jesus Christ looks like out of the Bible. Read.
The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants.
He says, which God gave unto him, which is John, to show unto his servants, which is us. We are the only ones that's the servants of God. Right. Nobody else can serve God because God didn't deal with everybody else. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Read.
To show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John.
So jump to verse 14.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So it says Jesus Christ's hair on his head and the hair on his face, because he had a beard, it says was white like wool. Which one of these images y'all see right here that has white woolly hair? That one right here. Y'all touch y'all hair. Little sisters, touch y'all hair. That's woolly hair. That's the same hair that Christ had. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So when we looking at these images, we don't see nobody with woolly white hair. Right. So that must mean something wrong with this. Right. If God in the Bible, he's describing him with white woolly hair, why is this being portrayed in the streets? Why is this being portrayed in the media? Right. Read.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
He said his eyes were as a flame of fire because Christ drank wine in moderation. Read.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
My sister, you got slippers on, right? I can see the top of your foot. Jesus Christ, he had sandals on. When John seen him, he looked at his feet, and what he said?
And his feet like unto fine brass.
The top of your foot is the same color as the rest of your body, right? He says the top of Jesus Christ's feet was like fine brass. What color is fine brass? Huh? Brown, exactly. So that's letting you know right off bat, Jesus Christ, he couldn't have been a Caucasian.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Read on, it gets better.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
So if you take anything and you burn it, what color will it turn? Huh? Black. So guess what? According to the Bible, Jesus Christ is a what? A black man.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? They ain't gonna show you this in the church, sis. And we keeping it real with you, bro. They ain't gonna show you this in the church. But that's why we out here. We out here to wake our people up and let y'all know the truth. The truth between the lie. Because a lot of our people think this is God. Because we've been in oppression for so long. But that's not what that is. The true depiction of Jesus Christ is what? The so-called black man.
Right.
It's power in it.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Your name has power in it. Go to Genesis chapter 29 and 3 about the name. Give me that real quick. Let me show you how powerful your name actually means and why they stripped it from you. Why we don't know who we supposed to be today. Read.
The book of Genesis, chapter 32 and verse 27. And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince thou hast power with God.
So our forefather Jacob, God changed his name to Israel. Y'all pay attention. Look back down the back. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. So when we say the 12 tribes of Israel, we're talking about a literal person.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? We descend from Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel.
Right.
And in the Bible, God says the word Israel means a prince that has power with God. Everybody on the earth don't have that title.
That's right.
Everybody on the earth don't have that power.
Right.
Only us as a people have that power because God gave it to us.
Right.
He's only dealing with us. Think I'm lying? Watch this. Give me Joel chapter 2 and verse 27. Joel chapter 2 and verse 27, because a lot of our people don't know these things. Read.
The book of Joel, chapter 2 and verse 27.
Bring it out.
And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel.
What the Bible just said, young man? Yeah. Pay attention. Because a lot of these things that we bringing out right now, nobody else ain't gonna keep it real with you like that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So God has said you should know that that He's in the midst of who?
And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel.
Now I'm in the midst of all nations.
Of Israel.
Now I'm in the midst of the Chinese.
Of Israel.
Now I'm in the midst of the Japanese.
Of Israel.
God is only dealing with the Israelites.
That's
this
right.
whole Bible is only talking about the Israelites. You understand, bro? So you gotta understand when we talking and we're addressing things in this Bible, God is never changing the narrative. He's only talking to the Israelites. Back then and now as well.
Right.
Read.
And that I am the Lord your God.
You hear those possessive words? Sis, back there. Sis, you hear those possessive words? Read it again because I know she ain't catch it because she talking with you.
And that I am the Lord your God.
You heard what he said? He's the Lord what? So that means, well, that's possessive, right? That means that if I say these are my shoes, this is my hat, that means I'm saying this is only for me, right? This ain't for everybody. God feels like that about us. He says, I am your God, and what?
I am the Lord your God, and none else.
Do they teach that in the church? But this the Bible, though. This is the Bible.
Right.
So why isn't this being taught in the church? It's letting you know something. The church ain't teaching the truth. Okay, read.
And my people shall never be ashamed.
And look what the Bible says. It says, my people shall never be ashamed. Why do you think God had to put that in the Bible? Because a lot of our people are ashamed to even come out and say that they are the greatest people on this earth. Yeah, we're above all people. Get mad at it. That's why everybody hate us. You understand what I'm saying? That's why the other nations don't like us. That's why they plot on us and they put us in situations like this.
Right.
Y'all think we're supposed to be staying on top of each other? Y'all think we're supposed to be standing like that? I'm going to show you something in the Bible. I'm going to show you what the Bible say that is. Give me Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 8. I'm going to show you what the Bible talk about. These houses that we living in right now, bro, this is a curse. Yes, sir. This is a curse. So we're not supposed to be doing these things. Read.
The The book of Isaiah, chapter 5 and verse 8.
Bring it out.
Woe unto them that join house to house, that lay field to field, till there be no place.
So God says, woe unto them. Woe in the Bible, says pay attention. Woe in the Bible means destruction. God says destruction unto them that join house to house. Look at our houses. They stacked on top of each other. When you go out in the rural areas and you see people with a whole bunch of land, they got one house to themselves, but they got a whole bunch of land. That's what they do. They concentrate us in one area and keep us oppressed and stand on top of each other with a whole bunch of problems just so they can buy up all the land and live peacefully. Y'all think that's right? So why should we have to humble ourselves and not acknowledge that we are the chosen people of God just so they can do these evil things to us?
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.